Welcome to the Coaching Closet. I'm your host, Richele. Have you ever put together an outfit that was just right, making you feel amazing from head to toe? It takes thought, planning, and effort to create that perfect look. In life, it's the same. It's like a unique puzzle with individual pieces that we must pay attention to in order for everything to work together. If something is missing, it's like walking out of the house with no pants on. Are you ready to piece together your puzzle of life? Let's go. Welcome back to the Coaching Closet. Today we are here again with my friend Rex Romander, and he's been with us before. He's a coach and a dating coach, and we have something really exciting to talk to you about today for the new year coming up. We're just going to share with you today. So, hey, Rex, thanks for joining me again.
How are you? Good seeing you.
Thank you. So the new year is upon us, and we are excited to kind of come together and help you start the new year off right in your life. And we're going to be talking about dating and, maybe what the plans are for your life. And we are collaborating to do a group coaching class for you next month, January. So what do you want to say about the new year, Rex? Like as you think about fresh starts?
Well, I think everybody, it's that New Year resolution. And there's always something, people that take them serious, there's always something that they want to be able to change, or something they've always wanted to do that they've never done and they want to do it, or whatever it is. And a lot of times for some people, it's maybe going to the gym, right? I want to get in shape. I want to take care of myself. For people in relationships, it's a great time to take a deep dive and ask yourself, what about me do I want to change? What are my pros and cons? And with my cons, what can I fix? Or what can I work to improve on? And I want to hit that. Let's do it. Right?
Mm-hmm. It's a good time for evaluation.
Absolutely. Self-evaluation for sure.
Yes, definitely self-evaluation. In the singles community, I know that I did a podcast just a few weeks ago there was one on cuffing season. Do you know what that is?
Basically, it's holiday season, right? And it's,
yeah.
All of a sudden, I'm looking for a relationship for the holidays.
Exactly. Well, so it's kind of like how difficult it is for singles during the holidays because, here we are, like it's Thanksgiving and then it's Christmas, then it's New Year's, then it goes through Valentine's. And if you don't have a significant other, it's kind of like, oh my gosh, there's like 3 months of all these different holidays where you're alone. So that can be difficult. But then one thing we're going to be collaborating on is helping people understand how important it is to enjoy being in their own company and their life without having someone else there necessarily.
When I went through my divorce, where I really found this hard was, when you're so used to spending that time together as a family, and then you no longer have that. Mm-hmm. And that's where you really get that feeling of like missing that family feel, right, of the holidays.
Yes.
And so, your first few holidays were, especially for me, especially when I didn't have my kids, was really hard for me, mm-hmm. right? It was a hard adjustment. And the older you get and the longer you do it, the more you realize it's just a day. You know what I mean? It's a day that's created, but it doesn't have to dictate what day you get to spend with your kids, right? If I don't have Christmas morning with my kids, most people, they really struggle with this, especially the first time. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, it's just a day that's created for you to get to spend time with your kids. So Christmas might have to be on the 27th this year.
Right?
That's okay. It's not about it actually being on the 25th. It's about the time you get to have with your kids on that specific day that you get to now set for yourself. So, mm-hmm. and just little things like that you have to learn. They're just different, right? And it might be weird at first, might be hard at first, but you start to learn the difference. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Like adjusting to something new, a different way of living. That is a really good point. The whole family situation. So learning how to love your life after being married, that's kind of where we're going with it after divorce, or being coupled up for a long time. Yeah. Finding yourself, finding out who you are. A lot of my clients don't know their favorite color. They don't know their favorite food because They don't know who they are.
Yeah. Same thing. Like when I got done with my divorce, when you're a parent, you are so like your whole life revolves around your kids and family. I
Hmm.
mean, probably the person you actually devote the least amount of time to is yourself. And so when I became single for the first time, it was one of those moments of like, man, like, what do I do? Like, like I have no idea what to do with my time and for myself. And it was actually the greatest thing that ever happened to me as far as really getting out to get to know myself. Not just what are my hobbies, what are my favorite colors, right? Or whatever. It was more about who am I as a person, right? And what were some things that I could have done better that I didn't, that I need to improve on and need to work on. So it really gives you time to do not just find your interests and hobbies and what you like, but truly find out who am I. You
Hmm.
get a lot of time to do that. So
Yeah.
that part is just beyond valuable. And it's hard because it's not what you wanted. You
Right.
didn't want to go find out about yourself. You wanted to stay in where you were.
Right.
But that unfortunate event created the opportunity for you to be able to have. That's why most people, after having years of going through recovery, of going through like a divorce, whatever it is, almost every one of them would say, I would never change a thing.
Hmm.
Right? Because so many things came to light that they weren't able to see in that moment
Hmm.
that got to really allow them to go dive into themselves and find new hobbies and find out who they are and likes and dislikes and pros and cons.
Right. It's like leveling up or, pushing them out of their comfort zone. I think anything like pushes you out of your comfort zone, it's not comfortable, but it's
Mhm.
like, okay, you would have never chosen maybe to go there, but it's the only way you could get to the
Yeah.
next point of learning or the depth that you need to get to.
Well, and it led me, I mean, one of my phrases, I kind of told you it's my favorite phrase that I really evolved for myself was at the end of the day, you are where you are now. What?
Hmm.
Right? Like at the end of the day, I can't change where I was at or where I'm at. Like I can't do anything about where I'm currently sitting right now, but I
Hmm.
can dictate and change or improve where I am going forward. So at the end of the day, I am where I am. Now
Right.
what? What do I do from here? Where do I go? Right? To get to the point where I want to be. So
Yeah, that's great. So for people that are out there, hey, it's 2022, like maybe the past year or whatever hasn't looked exactly the way they've wanted it. Or maybe they're in a place where it's like, oh man, I would like to change some things. They're here. Now what? You know?
yeah. I think the first part is exactly that. So many people get stuck and dive into what happened, or their feelings are stuck into that person from which it happened, or whatever else it is. And
Hmm.
again, it doesn't change anything. Like it literally, it's only hindering yourself going forward, right? And you
Hmm.
have to hit a point. Now, sure, you're going to take some time to process a little bit and probably hurt a little bit, but you have to hit a point where you're like, okay, I am where I am. I can't change that, right? But I don't want to hinder myself further along going forward. I have to go now. What? What
Right.
do I want? Where do I want to go? What do I want to accomplish? I don't want to sit in this rut or limbo, as I call it, and be stuck in this ugly place of worried about stuff in the past that I can't even change or do anything different now. So
Exactly. I think a lot of people get stuck. They get stuck in their victim story. That's what we call it, in the coaching world.
mhm,
And the most powerful thing is finding out what their part was in the situation, because that's the only power they have and their part. And like, how can I change so that I can grow as a person and make sure that this never happens again, or at least their part in it? So their part, even if they're in a terrible relationship, maybe it's an abusive relationship. That's what my niche is. Maybe their part was not speaking up for themselves. Maybe their part was staying too long or not having boundaries. So they can say, okay, well, now I can learn to have those. I can learn to stand up for myself. I can learn to leave. I can trust myself with my own safety so that it will not happen again. So that's a powerful place to be. It's stepping into their power. So learning their part where they're not stuck as a victim anymore,
for
because some
sure.
people just sit there and ruminate, like, oh, my ex this and my ex that. And that's all they talk about. Even
Yeah.
when they meet other singles and they go on dates and all they do is talk about their ex.
Yeah.
I've been on
Yeah. It's
dates
because,
before where that happened and it's like
yeah,
uncomfortable.
they are where they are, but they're remaining where they were.
Yeah.
Right. or they won't let go of where they were. They keep reminiscing and they keep bringing it up. And it's just, you could tell that they're stuck on it.
Right.
It's that place of limbo where they're so maybe bitter or angry or hurt or heartbroken. And they're just stuck there in that place of limbo because they're not going forward. They're not going backward. They're just stuck there. Right. And it's such an ugly place to be. And eventually you have to hit a point. Again, you know, what's funny is when I feel that, I actually set myself a day, right? Like maybe I tried to make it work with someone. It didn't work out. I'm a little bit heartbroken or sad or whatever. I give myself a date, and usually it's not very long of going, okay, I'm going to go to this date and then it's done. Like I'm clearing it and I have to believe that there's a reason it didn't work out and I'm going to go forward with it, right? I can't just sit there and let it fester forever. And I've been there, done that, and don't want to do it again. So
that's a good idea. Like give yourself a day or whatever to have a pity party, cry over it or whatever.
You need longer than that. You know what I mean? If it's, I know like with my divorce, a day wouldn't have worked.
No, I mean, not with a divorce. It does.
So sometimes it depends on the severity of it, of how much time you need. But if nothing else, you have to get to the point of going, okay, like I've already been suffering and I don't want to continue on with this. Like I have to set myself a time or a date to go, okay, from this point on, like I'm starting right now of I am where I am, now what, right? That date is the now what. So.
Right. That's good advice. We're embarking on this class for people. We're going to be starting, just for people to know, like a 6-week kind of beta program where they can come in, and we're going to have on January 6th, we're going to have a webinar, which is going to be a Zoom with both of us, kind of like letting people know what we are going to be teaching. And in this 6-week class, we're going to be kind of building up a longer class that we're going to be deciding like what we're going to teach on longer term, which is going to be like a 10 to 12 week program. But we're going to build it based on the questions and the needs of our beta program students. So hopefully that made sense to people. But it's all going to be like centered around dating and around are they ready and loving themselves and the topics that we are experts in. You have so much knowledge and wisdom. What kind of topic are you bringing to the table, Rex?
I wish I wasn't, right? I wish I didn't have experience and knowledge on these things, because it's not something as a kid you grow up going, you know what I'd really love to do is I'd love to fail a lot so that I can learn from it and teach other people how to not fail from it, right? So, but I am where I am now, what, right? So at the end of the day, it's one of those things where I've gone through a lot of different experiences, definitely through challenges, and done a lot of reflecting on it. And definitely one of my passions now is helping people. I can remember how all those feelings felt. I can remember being stuck. I can remember just the entire process of it all. It's funny because when I start talking to people, it takes me back, right? It takes me back into whatever it is they're going through, you know, challenges of co-parenting, challenges of blending a family, challenges of divorce, challenges of cheating, challenges of whatever it is. And I've been there, done that. And I had to dig myself out of all those situations. And so, you know, when people are struggling with that, I'd love to be able to help them. And, you know, it's one of those things where I think I posted on this one time of the person you're asking has never experienced the challenges you're going through. Why don't you ask somebody that's actually had to dig themselves out of the hole, right? That they've been there, done that, had to dig themselves out of it. That's who you want to ask. How did you get to this point where you're at a good place after going through that? Because I'm struggling, right? Exactly. And that's what I love to be able to do, is to be able to help people that are going through something that's challenging in life and being able to help them through that process so that hopefully I can give them a different perspective and be able to help them so it's not so painful and not so difficult going through it. So
that's awesome. What I bring is the same. Well, first of all, I want to say like the word failure, I don't even like that, because I say we love mistakes because they are opportunities for learning. And I tell my clients, I look at them as building blocks just to learn and experiences. So, and also because I do a program called Conscious Uncoupling, like when relationships, a lot of times people say they fail, but really because we live so long, most of us have more than one or two very significant relationships in our life. So it's like they're completed. And a lot of times they're to teach us different things and help us grow as people. So for me, my heart is for women who have been in toxic relationship cycles, who are kind of walking around with this false identity. Maybe they don't feel worthy of love. They don't feel good enough, smart enough, beautiful enough, anything enough. And they're walking around with that story. I like to really help them transform that and walk with their true story. I've been a single mom. Now my kids are grown, a single grandma, married for a long time. I was a stay-at-home mom. Now I'm an entrepreneur, turned coach. I'm in the same boat as you, but kind of like people that want to come out of a divorce and how do I redefine my life? I was very much defined by being a wife and a mom, and that's who I was from 18 to 42. And then I was 42 and I was like, who am I? Like, I was always with this man. So anyone has gone through that or is going through that and doesn't know how to navigate the world, I have a heart for those people. And so that would be somebody that could join this community. We're going to have a Facebook group for this. We'd love to have you guys join us. We're going to be doing a couple of Facebook Lives, and you can find us on my Facebook. Follow Rex Romander and Richele Batt. And yeah, what else do we want to tell them?
Well, we don't want to give it all away, but yeah,
No.
I mean, that's kind of our starting point, right? We want to really try to help people that are looking to get a new start on the new year, right? Maybe they've been stuck in limbo and they're tired of it, and they hit a point. I remember I was working with a gal and she was kind of talking to me, and you could tell by the way she was talking to me that she really wasn't ready for change. She really just wanted somebody to listen, right? And I kind of told her that. I said, I'll be honest with you, like, I don't feel like you're ready, because people that are ready, they're done. Like they're fed up. They are so sick and tired of where they are, or hurting, or being sad. They're done. They want it to end, right? And that's when they're ready for a change. They just want so bad to be out of that. And that's really when people want to truly make that change, to start being happy again, to start seeing that there's other things out there and learning to love themselves and be happy being alone. And, I think one of the challenges you run into early on being single is you're going in search of someone, right, to fulfill some sort of need rather than being able to fill that need yourself. And it's such a bad habit, right?
It is.
And once you learn to be like, no, I'm good. Like, I'm good. I don't need anyone to fulfill me. Then you start paying attention to what's out there, but you're not searching for what's out there, right? It makes a world of difference for you.
It's so much better. It's such a better energy to come into a room, to a place with, I don't know, you're a whole. You're not like in a deficit looking for someone to fill you. No one should fill you. You should be complete in your own already. I agree with that 100%. So like it's tomorrow from when this is airing. We're going to be doing a Facebook Live at 8:30 Central Standard Time on my Facebook page. You can follow me on there, Richele Batt, or you can join my Facebook community, Coaching Closet. Yeah, just follow me and you'll see the live. I'm trying to figure out how to do all the lives from everywhere. Find me, and you can find Rex also on Instagram. Right? What's your
Facebook's
Instagram?
Probably actually better.
Okay.
It's not public. It's made private just because I'm a teacher. And so I have students and stuff. But
You can follow you though, right?
friend request. Yeah. Yeah. They can follow me too.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And we're really looking forward to it. Thanks for joining me, Rex. And we'll see you guys soon.
We'll see you soon.
All right.
See you, man.
All right.
Thank you for joining me today on the Coaching Closet. My hope is that with each episode, you will discover, like an amazing puzzle, all of the unique pieces in your life fit together to create the beautiful image of you. If you find this podcast to be helpful and would like to share with others, please do me a quick favor and leave a review on Apple Podcasts. This helps to make the podcast more visible. Thanks again for spending your time with me today. Be sure to visit me at coachingcloset.com for past episodes and gifts to help you find your beauty from the inside out.